Okay, welcome back everyone. So after you finish the first video in the first sessions, I hope you enjoyed that video lesson. So now let's move on to the lesson in our second sessions. So in the second sessions, you are going to study this book, which is the Speaking Tutor 3A. In this book, I always remind you that you are going to learn the presentation skill, because this book aims to improve your presentations. There are many different topics that you can learn from this book. For example, let's say from the previous unit, which is unit 3, you learn about the process of doing something. But in this week, we will start the new lesson, which is the unit 3 in lesson 1. And the title of the unit 4, which is the new unit, is My Favorite Books. It is very exciting lesson because you are going to study about the book, right? Reading book has a lot of advantage. For example, let's say you can know a lot about the new thing. You can learn a lot from the reading activity, such as the vocabulary, the sentence structures. You know a lot of characters in this story. That is why this lesson is very interesting. All right. So this lesson we start with the unit lesson 1, which is the dialogue and practice. You will hear people talking about the book, and those people I know I think you know who that people is, because she is very famous book writer. Her book is very famous. It get into making the film. All the books she wrote are making into the film. Do you know what the book that is very famous, written by the author that you are going to listen? Sure, you are going to listen to the author of the book, J.K. Rowling. So she wrote the Harry Potter series, and it is a long series, and I hope you already read that books. It's great. So the lesson is on page 68 and 69. So now open the books to those pages with me all together. 68, okay, so 64, okay, 68 and 69 here. So the first activity, which is the vocabulary review. Why you need to learn some of the vocabulary before you move on to the conversation lesson? Sure, sooner or later you will encounter this vocabulary in your readings or in your listening activity. That is why you need to be familiar with this word first. You need to know how to read this word. You need to know how to write this word. And you need to know the definitions of this word as well. Because in your reading activity, or maybe you pick up a novel after you learn the lesson, which is the favorite book, you find your own favorite book. For example, let's say a novel. You might find these difficult words when you are reading. So it will be helpful to know this word beforehand. Before we listen to that conversations, I would like to remind you that in that conversation there may be some of this word. So pay attention to this word only, because since today is Monday, what you will learn on Monday is all about the vocabulary. Since you have learned 8 words from the first sessions, now there are 7 more words, which are 15 more words to study for this week. It is not a lot because there are 2 lessons, and 15 words is not a lot for you as a smart student. So now I would like to play some of the listenings for you and pay attention to this word when you are listening. Okay, good. Now let's start your listenings. Good, I hope you already finished your listening activities. Now it's good time to look at some of these vocabularies. Okay, so here we have 2 separate words, we have the word on the side, and we have the definitions on the side. So what do we need to do here? Sure, we need to match the word with the definitions. Let's start with the first one, which is magic spell. Magic spell. So spell here, to clarify, it functions as a noun. It's not the verb anymore. So magic spell refer to the magical words that you use, or not you, because you cannot use the magic spell, but most people who are able to possess some greatest power, they have the magic spell. So magic spell refers to a word that those people can use in order to have a special ability. For example, when you say this phrase, you will disappear. So this is called a magic spell. Or when you say this phrase, you will be able to fly. So all these are magic spell. So magic spell is a form of word here. It's a form of words used as magic charm. Okay, say it and something special, magical happens. Number two, which is the word scar. Scar. Imagine you cut yourself. Okay, you cut yourself and you are injured. And after your cut already heals, there are a scar here. So scar refer to a mark, okay, left on the skin. Good. Number three, which is the word knowledge. Knowledge, it comes from the word know. Okay, when you know something, you have knowledge. So knowledge is referred to a fact, okay, or skill person have through educations. So when you get educations, you go to school to learn, you learn by yourself, it's all part of educations. You know something, you are able to do something, which is you have knowledge. Okay, good. Number four is miserable. Miserable, okay, miserable is an adjective. When something is miserable, it's unhappy, sad, or sorrowful. Okay, good. Number five, which is the word survive. Survive. Okay, survive means to continue to live or exist. How many days people will survive without food? Do you know that? I'm not sure, but you should do some research. And how many days people survive without water? You should do some research, but don't experience it. Okay. So how many days or how many hours people survive without the oxygens, without breathing? So you close your nose, you close your mouth without air coming into your lung. So how many hours or how many minutes you will survive? An interesting fact, everyone, when we talk about the survival here, there's a guy called David Blake, and I hope you know him. He is a very famous magician. He can live without the oxygen. He stay under the water for 17 minutes and he still survive, which is a very special ability. He broke the world records at that time. So survivors continue to live. Number 6 and number 7. Number 6, which is wizard. Wizard. So wizard refer to a man with a special power. He possesses a magical power. So we call him a wizard. And mostly it's only appear in the novel, in the fairy tales. But in the real world situations, there is no way a person can possess such a great power. Let's say when you point to somebody, that person will listen to you and follow what you are saying. It's maybe not possible. Okay. Last but not least, number 7, intelligence. If you are very intelligent, which means you are very clever. Okay. So that's the 7 vocabulary that you learn from the speaking to the 3A, and the lesson is my favorite books. And this word may be very useful for all of you. If you decide to pick up a novel and read through that books, you will encounter some of these vocabulary for sure. So that's it for the video lesson on Monday. And in the next video lesson about the speaking tutor, you will listen to the famous author of the Harry Potter book. She is going to talk about her writings. And I hope you learn this vocabulary first so that you can listen and understand what she is talking about. But now everyone, it's time for us to say goodbye. And I hope you are staying at home and safe and sound with your family. And don't forget to review the lesson and pay attention to your learnings. Now everyone, it's time to say goodbye.